garden! My name is Clyo and I work for Women's Environmental Network.
And today I'm going to talk about setting your courgette plants in a way they can be healthier and more productive. And to do so, we are going to prune them properly. Note, in this video you'll see different varieties of courgette or summer squash. Some of mine are yellow, some are rounded or patipan varieties. But the structure of this plant is pretty much the same, so don't worry if you'll see something that doesn't look like the classic dark green courgette. Now, I know that usually the term pruning is referred to a perennial or a bush or a tree. Well, even with annual plants, plants that can grow, set fruits and seeds and then die within a year, just as courgette or tomatoes, we can talk about pruning. Courgettes are big plants. When they grow decently, they can take about 2 foot square, so 60 centimeters of your growing space, or even more. They have these large leaves that can cover a big part of your soil, but also the fruits, the courgette, the flowers, and the stem of your plants. Unfortunately, those leaves are also prone to get diseases such as powdery mildew. What happens is they are in close contact with the soil, and when it's raining, any kind of disease can bunch easily from the soil to the leaves. They also create a sort of cape, a layer of so many overlapping leaves that do not let the air flow through the plants. And this again is the cause of the spreading of fungi and mold. Then, the fact that they are so close to the soil allowed pests such as slugs to feed on them quite easily. So, to avoid all of these problems, we are going to prune some of these lower leaves. As you can see here, there is only one stem, and this is where all those leaves and flowers are starting up. I am reaching the lower leaves and cut them as close as possible to the stem. To do so, I'm using a sharp and clean blade. It can be a knife, a scissors, or secateurs. I'm also wearing gloves because the stems are quite prickly and I don't particularly enjoy to handle those, you know. Of course, I will try to avoid to cut the flowers, and I will let some top leaves because the plants need them for photosynthesis, but I will clean off most of the other leaves. I'm also doing this for another reason. This area is really windy, and removing larger leaves helps the plant not to be blown away. Some people even train the courgette on sticks to give them more stability against the wind. You see some of the leaves here have already powdery mildew, so I'll cut them off and I will dispose them far away from my plot or my compost, so the disease will not spread. By cutting some of the leaves, we can also drive the nutrients to the plants directly to the flowers, the one that eventually will give us the courgette. Those courgette flowers are so bright and yellow to take the attention of pollinators, right? By pruning some leaves, we give them more chance to be seen. So more pollinators means more pollen moved from the male flowers to the females, and more pollination means more courgette. Sometimes you also need to take off some courgette fruits. I mean, the very first fruits may be kind of small and weak, and the plant is putting so much energy to feed them that it's actually not worth the effort. If you take those first fruits off the plants, it will produce more courgette, bigger and healthier. So don't worry, take the courage. If your first courgette is small and weak, take it off and wait for more to come.
really hope you enjoyed this video. Please stay safe and keep growing.